This is the Bullseye Podcast.
Oh, yes, it is. We are back. Still can't find paper towels anywhere on the Jersey Shore. If anybody can get me paper towels, let me know. Hey, we're on all the platforms now. The podcast is building. The audience is growing. I'm becoming famous, I think. This is Bullseye on the Bullseye Network, on the Bullseye Podcast, on the Bullseye frequency of your life. And we're back for another.
Hey, good timing on that one. You hit it right on that.
That
Perfect.
was a good one. I was
no
right
rush,
on there.
Yeah, right on it. And they started that singing. Perfect.
Now I have to try other songs.
You mastered this one, right?
So in these hot summer days, we're starting
man.
with baseball. And you know what? Our last show, we talked about baseball, hitting the best pitchers in baseball, and their batting average. As soon as the show is over, I go on the computer. Or why wouldn't I do this when the show was on? That's a story unto itself. Oral Hershiser. Oral Hershiser.
Right. Right. What about him?
356. It has a pitch.
356. That's great.
That's over.
That's great. But he could have been a legitimate. Hitter. There's that one pitcher that hit like 40 homers last year. Remember that guy? And he pitches a little bit.
Oh, the guy with the
pitcher.
Angels.
Yeah, right.
Asian
right.
guy. Do we say Asian?
Yeah.
What do we do? What's his name?
So that's like the opposite. That's like the good hitter that is able to pitch, which is really rare, right? I mean, how many of those do you find?
Well,
like one,
If somebody could play like the outfield, right, and they could throw the ball from the fence to the catcher, they have a legitimate chance of being a good pitcher. Remember that Rick Ankel?
If you could reach, yeah.
Rick Ankel. Was it Rick Ankel? He played for the Cardinals?
Right. He couldn't throw a strike. Right.
Right, but from the outfield, he could throw a strike from center field.
He could throw a bullet from center field wall to the home plate or left field wall. He could throw like 330 feet in the air, right, on the line drive.
It's all mental.
He lost it, right? He was a good pitcher for a while. Mentally, something happened, and then all of a sudden he couldn't find. He was like throwing like crazy, right? Like 15 feet over the guy's head, behind his back.
It was bad. It was like he came up
crazy stuff,
like a Kerry Wood type. He was going to be like a star. Remember Kerry Wood?
Right. Yep.
And he couldn't throw the ball over the plate. So it's happened before. Here's two players I remember who had throwing issues: Chuck Knobloch and Steve Sachs.
Oh, his was real bad. You remember that? Remember him? He couldn't hit first base. Yeah, that was bizarre. Who's the other one?
Steve Sachs. Remember he played for the Yankees too.
Oh, he had the same deal. He had the same thing. So they had two second basemen that couldn't throw to first.
I mean, Knobloch. And the year they won the World Series, he was having those problems, right?
Yeah, it was usually. I never seen a second baseman miss first base by as much as he was. I mean, like throwing at the ankles, maybe to the left, to the right, like 3 feet. He was like throwing like 30 feet to the left. It was like, how do you do that?
When they traded for him and they got him, I was like, oh wow, Chuck Knobloch. And then he started to play. I'm going, this guy's not that good. But then now you look at highlights, he got a lot of big hits.
I remember thinking
he sucked.
Right?
What?
He had like a huge homer, like in the mid '90s, and he had like a game-winning homer, like really high one down the line, and just made it. Yeah, right. I thought he was good at the time. I mean, I thought he was okay, and then that was it, right? When he couldn't make the throw to first, it was all over.
He was no Jim Mason,
He was a shortstop, right?
What do you remember about Jim Mason? Of course, everybody, we talk about the old Yankees because. That was our lives. We watched the old Yankees.
Well, it was back in the day. That's what we do. We lived back there, right? He was pretty good. He was about 1974, right before Bucky Dent.
No, he used to platoon. He used to platoon with the Chicken. Fred Stanley.
He was him and the Chicken. Okay. Yeah, he was. Well, both weren't good, but the Chicken was second string. I guess Mason was third string, or was the Chicken starting?
No, I think Mason. Here's what I remember. Don't mind my sick memory. He was
a left-handed batter, right?
They got Jim Mason from the Texas Rangers. Why and how, I have no idea. But all I remember is they got this guy named Jim Mason. And
he wasn't bad, right? I mean, I remember he seemed okay at the time. If I saw his stats,
he hit lefty, I think. He kind of had a batting stance like Wade Boggs without the hits.
a crouch, right, with no power.
Yeah,
no
he had
power.
like that with the elbow up in the air. And then, so here's the question: who is better, Fred Chicken Stanley or Gene Stick Michael?
Oh man, that to me that's easy. I got to go with the stick. The stick had the hop, skip, and jump. He had that little underhand throw to first. I think he was underrated. I think he was a great fielder. Wasn't he a good fielder? I mean, he used to turn that double play, that little hop.
No, he did.
Oh, you know, right?
He used to
ball.
jump like 3 inches in the air and throw it like. He was
his hitting wasn't that good. You know,
he was Rookie of the Year with the Dodgers. Gene Michaels.
He was Rookie of the Year, wasn't he?
I think he was.
Wow.
Look it up. I think he was Rookie
we'll
of the Year.
look it up. Yeah.
Where's your intern?
Yeah. She's looking it up right now.
Hey,
okay. Yeah. You know, I mean, keep talking, and then we'll find it out.
Gene Michael.
Well, I think his first few years,
Rookie of the Year.
I think he actually batted in the 260s, 270s. When I started following him, he was like 204. You know, like in 69, 70. I don't know what happened to him, but his average was what he hit, like 1 homer a year, 2 homers a year. You know, something like that. Let me see here. Yeah, it looks like rookie. Wait a minute. No, let me do this again.
The Dodgers with the Dodgers, not the Yankees. Look up with the Dodgers.
Not the Yankees. Dodgers.
Right. Look it up. Tell me if Bullseye's right with my weird memory.
Well, he went to the Dodgers. Yeah, that's true. He was drafted by the Pirates.
Right.
In '59. Wow, I didn't know that he was going way back then. He was 1 season with the Dodgers, and then he went to the Yankees
Rookie of the Year?
in '68.
Gene Michael.
I'm reading this thing here. He was a master of the hit and ball trick. Did it 5 times in his career. 229 lifetime average. 15 home runs lifetime. Not too good. 226 RBIs. Not too much power back there. And I see nothing about. No. He's a manager too. Oh, he's a manager. I didn't know that for the Yankees.
Well, he did. You know, the Yankees had so many managers you forgot. But George Steinbrenner loved him because he was the GM. Let me see. Did he win Rookie of the Year?
I see nothing about Rookie of the Year. I'm going to see Gene Michael's stats.
Good thing
and see if that deserves rookie. I see nothing on. Okay, let's see. His first full year, you could tell me if he was Rookie of the Year, was 1967. Well, 223 at bat with the Dodgers. Batted 202. No way he's winning Rookie of the Year. Your memory is off, Bullseye.
It's a good thing I'm not considered a sports guy.
No homers
I'm thinking about
7 RBIs.
I'm thinking about Stan Bonson.
Oh, he might have been Rookie of the Year in '68, right?
Stan Bonson. He was like, why do I remember him?
He was one of the aces. He was one of the aces back in the late '60s. He was good for a while. Let me see. Let me get my assistant to check his stats.
Bonson,
what happened to him?
How do you spell Bonson? B-A-H.
B-A-H-N-S-O-N. I remember. He's still around, too. He's 75 years old.
He used to short arm it, Rizzuto used to say. He used to short arm the
ball. Yeah, right. Let me see his stats. He came up. Wow, in '68, he was, check this out, he was 17-12. That must have been his Rookie of the Year.
He was Rookie of the Year, right?
For a rookie.
Gene Michael.
Then he was 9-6. Actually, then he went to the White Sox and was 21-16. And Yankees, he wasn't bad. 14-11, 14-12. Got traded. 21-16, 18-21. You know, 500. And his lifetime record, drum roll, is 146 and 149. 500 record lifetime. Stuck around a long time. Played 16 years.
You know, it's
not bad.
Yeah, you know, when people think of Yankee teams, they think about, of course, 27, and they think about the DiMaggio years and the Mantle years, and then they go right to the 90s because everyone's forgot about the 70s, except us.
Well, they had the 3 good, 70.
Not the 70, well, I'm talking about 69 to 76, those years, those.
Those were the dark years. Those were bad. Those were bad. Yeah. You just knew they weren't going to do anything. They had the Orioles. It was ugly. They actually contended a couple of those years. I didn't even realize it. If you look back, they were 2 games out, like in '73.
Right.
They were close a couple of years through that bad. I don't even know how that happened. Stan Bonson, Rookie of the Year, 1968. Stanley Raymond Bonson.
I knew it.
Full name. There you go.
Knew it. Stan Bonson.
There you go. I knew why I liked him. Yeah.
Stan Bonson.
Yeah, he's who?
No, I mean He was with Stottlemyre, Bonson, that team, and then the good old Fritzy Peterson that we talked about. With the
Fritz Peterson and Mike Heckage, right. Yeah, we left off on the last show. We're going to try to reach those guys.
We got to get a hold of Bloomberg, right?
Yeah, Bloomberg. Yeah, we got to get Ron. Yeah, I'll reach out Monday.
Let's get Dykstra back on the phone. We need guests. Guests. We need guests.
That was a fun show, man. It was a fun show.
Well,
I like the controversy.
I was looking to start a fight, but he wasn't here. Can you imagine if he came?
Yeah, he was going to come in your studio. I was going to get some security guys hanging outside. Bulleye and Dykstra. I could have got heated.
No,
you don't back down.
No, he's a regular guy. He's
Yeah, no, you guys got along good. He liked you. I could tell. Yeah. Yeah.
So are you watching these basketball games? Right. Are you watching these basketball games? Here?
I was just watching. I was first time. I mean, is this right? Did you see how they're doing it?
I hate it.
Did you watch any of these things?
Yeah, it's like I can't stand.
They're enclosing it, right? It's all enclosed.
All I hear is sneakers. You hear it on the court, all the squeaking.
It's
driving me nuts.
Is that how they're going to do it, though? I mean, I saw one game. It wasn't in the arena. It was in like a boxed in. They like closed it all in. So there's like it's like walls around the court.
Yeah,
is that what you saw? Was it in the arena?
And they have LED lights, and it's almost like a scoreboard, if you will, wrapped all the way around. There's visuals.
Yeah, right.
It's like what wrestling. It's like what wrestling is doing. It's the same thing wrestling is. Exactly. It's
okay.
What it's come down to.
I don't like it. I don't like it. What do you think of it?
I think the fans are more important in basketball than they are in baseball. Now that I'm looking at it.
I think so.
How do you get a rally going? How do you get like the fans defense? So now they have to do that. They got to pump in, but they're all playing in a neutral location, and I don't know. I tried
pumping. It may not work. Baseball I could see working because I watched the Yankees today. It was fun. I mean, they got the dun dun dun. They got the whole crowd stuff, and they got that fake crowd noise, which I don't mind. Some people don't like it. They think it's too fake, but it's okay. And the action looks good. Basketball, though, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to watch any games. What I saw for 2 minutes just now with that enclosed stadium it's like a practice. I mean, that's the only way I could put it.
I'm on like a halfway boycott. I just certain things about it, like this Mark Cuban dude. I can't stand that guy. What
do you say now?
Cocky SOB he is. He is just. He thinks he knows everything. He doesn't know shit, and he's just.
Well, look at the guy.
He thinks he's a social justice engineer, and he's going on all of these news stations. How would you do it, Mark? Are you running for president? He's an idiot.
Well, look though, you got to think where he's coming from. He was a fan. He was sitting in the upper deck. He had this company. He was bought out for $5 billion. Yahoo bought him out, and then he bought the team. He's going to be cocky.
Mr. Shark.
He's going to be cocky.
I'll give him a Shark Tank. Side his head.
Hey, I mean, the guy made a few $1 billion. He was a nobody before that. He got cocky. I mean, what can you say?
He's a social engineer, and him and Pop.
Oh, is that what he is?
See this guy Popovich and Kerr.
The coach.
The social engineers, they're telling everybody how they should feel.
Well, you know what? I'm not really watching. I'm not watching. I just have no interest. I haven't had interest in a long time for the NBA. I got no interest in it really. I don't know. I think since Jordan left, it dropped off a lot.
Yeah.
I think it hasn't been the same since 2002. I'll call it. Maybe 2006. I'll go to when Kobe was playing.
Right.
What do you think? I mean, you think 90s was the peak? I mean, 80s into the 90s was definitely the peak of basketball. There's no question about that. And then I think it died every decade. It just dies out a little bit.
I was into the Pat Riley Knicks a lot.
They were good. Yeah, 93, 94.
But
right?
let me tell you about that team. You watch highlights of those games, like I do on MSG and everything.
You like watching highlights.
It was team was not smooth. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, like Charles Oakley looked like everything it was hard for him when he played. He was like, ugh. He shot the ball. It looks, Derek Harper.
His expressions look rough, right?
I don't know. They played great defense with Anthony Mason. Even he made it look rough. But
they were tough, though, right? Wasn't that their thing? They were like workmen, blue-collar guys that didn't look pretty, but they were like in every game.
John Starks was good, and they hit the key shots, and even
Ewing was on them, right? Ewing? Wasn't he on that team?
Well, of course, Ewing. But Ewing was an outside shooter. I mean, he played on the outside. You didn't see him with baby hooks, and everything was from the outside.
But wasn't he pretty smooth? I mean, out of all the guys, he must have been smooth.
It was great.
Huh?
It was great. They were great, but the team wasn't. I don't know. Listen, I was a big Knicks fan.
Really? I got to watch it. I got to watch it now. I got to check it out. So they were not smooth.
It was defense. It was, Anthony Mason and, Oakley and banging into you, and they played tough.
Right.
It was fun.
They were fun to watch because of that. Yeah, because of that. Right. Yeah, I like them. They couldn't do it though. They made it to the dance right a couple times, and they couldn't get over it.
Starks couldn't even hit the rim in that last game. He was so.
I went to one game against the Bulls when Jordan came back, and the Bulls beat him in 6 or 7 or whatever it was that first year Jordan came back, and that was exciting. I was in that place was rocking. That's when the Knicks were the Knicks, and Jordan was playing, and that last play when it was like the Knicks had a shot of winning, and they had like 5 or 6 attempts at it. And I was at that game. That was cool. Boy, that was all the celebrities. Dustin Hoffman. I went down. I got down. I was just checking them out. Because I was starstruck back then.
Exciting times. Yeah. The Garden was packed.
It was exciting, man. Yeah, it was exciting. Yeah, it was. Now it's nothing like that. I mean, you're not going to get that kind of atmosphere anymore.
In the past 10 years, how many coaches have the Knicks had? I couldn't even name them. 10 years.
Who's the coach now? I'm not a Knicks fan, so I really don't care. So you're a Knicks fan, and you don't even know who the coach is.
I gave up. The NBA, I'm not interested in that much anymore.
Well, I was a big Celtics fan.
I mean, I love basketball. I love college hoops. I'm a Seton Hall guy. Let's go Pirates.
Yeah, right.
This was our year.
Yeah.
This was our year. We got, this.
That's still fun to watch.
This was our year.
Still fun to watch. Yeah. What are they going to do? Are they playing? No. Like it's too early, but I mean, it's almost October, right? A couple more months. Are they going to play? Or they don't know yet.
It's going to be an awfully lonely. They have to do something because people. The weather gets cool.
Yeah, but what's it going to be like? Is it going to be like the NBA is doing now with no crowd, with this enclosed type thing, or are they going to have a crowd there and just have the college kids go and social distance, or how would they do it?
Yeah, where would the cheerleaders go? Where do you put them?
Yeah, what do you do? I mean, I don't know. Is college even going to open?
Don't get me started. Oh,
right.
Here's what I don't understand.
I think it's going to be a weird year. It's a weird year coming up.
Here's what I don't understand. I'm watching a baseball game. How does a guy playing the outfield, where there's 3 people within 30 yards of each other, wearing a mask while they're playing? I don't get it. Why would you do that? I can understand when you get closer. Wait a minute. Who's wearing a mask?
Are they all wearing a mask?
Yeah, they're wearing a mask. You're playing outfield, not all wearing them. So you're playing right field, for example. What was I watching? One of the games on Major League Baseball. And the guy had a mask on in the outfield. I'm going, that makes no sense. You're not around anybody. You got to be hot. Like, why not wear it around your neck and then just pull it up? And I don't understand.
Now, every once in a while, I got the answer to it. The answer. I bet that's like the lone guy. The exception. I bet every team has that one guy that has to wear the mask. You get that one person. I bet it's not a majority. I bet it's like the one guy that has this thing about the mask, and that's who that guy you're talking about is.
Well, aren't they all? They're all tested. Like they're all tested, right? Number one, you're playing outside. Like even the manager, he's in the corner by himself. I think it was Madden. All the managers wear, and the mask is up top. Watching the Angel game, and the mask is up by his eyes.
Now, is it mandatory or what's the deal with it? I saw some guys with no mask on the Yankees.
I don't want to say it. What?
But I saw some Yankee players without the mask. So I guess it must not be mandatory, I see, it's like when I see guys driving in the car and they got a mask on, when I'm driving by and they got a mask on in the car and they're by themselves.
Right.
So, that I don't get. I mean, I'm with, that is, what's the deal with that, I mean,
I don't get it. All I know is John Sterling, when the Yankees play an away game, has to sit. I think they sit in Yankee Stadium and they watch the game on the monitors, and then they announce the game, the visiting games.
I love to be at a game to see like we were talking last time. What's it like? I mean, can you hear the crowd noise on the field, or is it a TV thing? Do we know the answer to that yet? Like, what's the deal with that?
I don't know. I'm watching old reruns on Decades. That's what I'm watching. Dick Van Dkye.
Okay. Oh, you're not even watching sports reruns.
No, Bachelor Father. I'm watching.
You're watching Dick Van Dkye reruns.
Oh, Dick Van Dkye.
Are they good?
Maury Amsterdam.
You're a Dick Van Dyke fan. You're a Dick Van Dyke fan.
Mary Tyler Moore was hot in those days.
She was very good looking back then. Yeah, she was. Yeah, I used to have a little. I confessed a crush on her when I was like 7. And
there you go.
Yeah.
If she was alive today, would you have told her that?
I would tell her that, of course. Yeah. She had that wholesome, good-looking look, So it was.
There we know.
She was sexy. I think she was underrated. She was very underrated in my mind.
Right.
She was underrated.
She loved Rob.
Dick Van
Dyke. Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
I used to love Maury Amsterdam.
Richard Deacon, was he in one of them?
Richard Deacon, yes.
Richard Deacon.
Carl Reiner. Rosemarie. She used to be
was she on that show?
She used to be on Hollywood Squares. Marie. I think they both were. Maury Amsterdam and her runner. She used to put like the finger up by her cheek and turn it, like Rosemarie with the bow in her hair.
I thought like Joanne Worley did that move, right?
How did we go from Jim Mason to Rosemarie?
Didn't Paul Lynde, he was a regular on that, right?
Paul Lynde was the center square all the time.
Yeah, he was like the all-star, right?
Him and Charlie Weaver.
The all-star Hollywood Square. Charlie Weaver.
Who the fuck was Charlie Weaver? Where did they pull him from? What made him famous?
I think they had the same guys on Match Game, right? Didn't they have the same guys?
No, Match Game.
I think they would go record
Match Game had
one show and then go onto the studio for the same studio for the next show. The same guys. They were on all those shows.
Match Game had Charles Nelson Riley. He was on there. Betty White, Betty White was on every game show in America. She used to be married to Alan Ludden, who used to be married to Alan Ludden of
right.
This is what I'm doing with my time. Screw Major League Baseball.
I used to watch that when I used to be homesick as a kid. I used to watch those shows,
Oh, are you kidding me?
The answer is.
Greatest show.
Whispered it to the
You're the greatest show of all time, right? Man. You're the greatest talk show of all times, right?
Merv Griffin.
Mike Douglas.
Oh, you're Mike Douglas fan. He was good. He used to sing those waltzy songs before the show. I mean, he was good.
With his co-host Tony Fields. He used to have Tony Fields as his co-host. He had John Lennon. He had John Lennon as a co-host for a week.
Yeah, for a whole week. Yeah, right. There's videos of that stuff out. Yeah.
I love Mike. And who Mike Douglas's producer was, who eventually ran Fox News Channel, was Roger Ailes.
Really? He was
Mike Douglas's producer. You know the story?
Really? Wow. That's a trivia question.
Look at this. How did we go? Now we went from Jim Mason to Roger Ailes through Mike Douglas.
I used to watch that, and then the movie of the week was like scary movies, like Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. Remember that was on every Friday at 4:30, You'd be scared as a kid watching it,
This was living. This was living.
The Bullseye's watching the replays of Dick Van Dyke.
I'm watching Dick Van Dyke. Oh, absolutely. I was watching repeats of Emerald Live today. Live from Florida. Hey, Regis Philbin died. I used to love Regis.
Regis was a legend, right? He was a legend, right?
He was a legend.
He was up there. He was good. He was good.
He was good.
Yeah, he had that voice, that style, The $99,000. What was that show he was on?
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah.
But he used to do live. I went to one of those shows, Regis and Kathy Lee live. So
you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He was a man about town in New York. Everyone knew him.
He was a pro, right? He was a pro too. He was the guy. He was the guy. Yeah.
Now you're stuck with that a-hole Jimmy Kimmel and these other stiffs. They call themselves comedians, and they stink.
You don't watch the late night talk shows now? Okay. Stay with the replays of the old days.
I watch the Odd Couple reruns. That's what I watch it.
Well, them I like. I like
best.
them. Dick Van Dyke. I don't know, but anyway, let's just get back to sports.
All right, back to sports. Anyway,
that was fun. That was fun.
That was fun. Whatever.
Yeah.
So,
but you know what? The times we're in.
When this show is over, I'm watching reruns
We have to watch
again.
this stuff. We got to watch this stuff. There's nothing else on I like really now. sports. There's no sports, so yeah. So you're kind of stuck with those shows, Not stuck with them, but they bring back memories like when you were young, right? When you watch these things, you get that good feeling like when you were a kid, and like, oh yeah,
Well,
and they're actually funny,
Well, the reason I watch fun with baseball is it's not like teams aren't going to go into streaks. I don't think it's going to be win one, lose two, win two, lose three. I don't think there's going to be long winning streaks with the way this is set up.
Well, I couldn't watch the full game. My wife had the game on in the background. We had some people over, and I was, once in a while, like, oh, what inning is? Oh, yeah, Yanks are up by 1 in the 8th. Like, oh, okay. Then I watched, like, the last out. I just can't watch, like, a full game now, I mean, It just doesn't, maybe I will when we get up to, like, the end of the season, when it means something. But how can you get into baseball at the third game of the year?
That's why I turned to Dick Van Dkye. That's why. It's like the go-to show. It's like, all right, boring, back. Dick Van Dkye, decades. Well, you ever watch that network? It's a good network.
Which network?
It's called Decades.
What? No, I haven't watched
Decades. Well,
Decades.
It's called Decades. So
what's on old shows?
It's got old shows,
Okay.
Yeah, there's plenty of old shows. I don't even know of any. They're not even making shows now, and all of the sitcoms of the past 5 years stunk. I don't think any of them are any
I haven't watched a sitcom in I don't know how long. I mean, I'm in the decades before I really watched a really good sitcom. Remember All in the Family and those shows? You were very religious every week. I don't know. ER I used to watch, I guess. I don't know. I used to like that one 20 years ago.
Yeah, I used to watch Melrose Place. I don't know if anybody's interested in this, but there's no sports to talk about. Hey, what about that Gene Michaels? We'll go back to that.
Well, you know what? I mean, when you're a kid, if they're on your favorite team, you love them. I mean, that's the bottom line. I just loved every player on that team, whether it was Horace Clark, Gene Michael, or Danny Cater, Jerry Kenny. I idolized those guys. When I was a kid, you're 9 years old, you're going to idolize whoever is on your favorite team, no matter how bad they are. They're starting and they're on TV, and you just love them. I check their stats out now. It's a joke, when you see what these guys batted and the lack of power they had and everything. But hey, I was in the kid mentality. Go to Yankee Stadium, I see those guys. I see their number 17, Gene Michael. I mean,
now we're back to Gene Michael. Boy, we really went. Wow, we went around. We hit Maury Amsterdam.
Well, I think he gets a bad rap. He gets a bad
Charles
rap.
Nelson Riley. And we went back to Gene Michaels.
Same with Horace Clark.
This is a unique show. I would have to say. I've been listening around.
Well, what other show are they going to talk about this and then talk about Dick Van Dkye and back to
because this
Gene
show
Michael,
makes
right?
no sense. That's the whole objective. It makes no sense, and we're just going to
like Seinfeld. Right.
Well, yeah.
So that's the Seinfeld thing. It was about nothing. It was just about this guy's life, and then anything happened.
Well,
I guess that's like us, right?
I've seen Seinfeld so much now. There's nothing else to watch. I can't watch it anymore. I've watched so much of it.
Oh, really? Okay. I thought that was a timeless show. No. Okay. I thought that was like everyone was funny.
I must have watched every episode about 100 times.
All right. Yeah. So you're right.
Now I'm going back to Dick Van Dyke, Married with Children,
All
in the Family, which was a classic. All in the Family. So.
And that still holds up? Holds up, All in the Family?
Yeah, it's still a classic. Archie Bunker. What I want to talk about in our next shows, we're going to start talking about boxing. And we're going to start getting into who is better than this and what guy in this fight here, because we know a little bit about boxing. I figured we'd talk about something we know about.
Well, back in our day, that was the best sport in the world. It's not the same anymore. I mean, back then, that was. I think the 70s and 80s was the peak in almost all sports. I hate to say it, not that I'm biased, but I
don't like MMA. Give me boxing every day. The MMA.
I mean, we lived through Muhammad Ali. I mean, that enough said. I mean, that was it. I mean, he fought all those guys, and it was every week. They fought a lot. Then, like every 3 or 4 months. I used to come over to your house. We used to watch those fights.
Absolutely.
Maybe we'll save it for the next show. We'll save it for the next show. But
we go way back. So what we're going to work on in the future weeks, we're going to try to get some interviews in here, and we'll, create some controversy. We're now on the iHeart radio platform, by the way. So,
right.
Never know.
Right.
Somebody may like this.
Way to go. You got to get on you got to get us on like ABC or those networks. Do they do that?
I have to do something. I have to do something insane. I have to do something insane.
All right, let's think of some crazy stuff to make some national news to get on these. Just get on the national news circuit.
Like go around without a mask on and start talking. to people without a mask on. That would get
like
a lot of attention.
Like right in their face, like
yeah, hey, what's going on? How you doing?
You can't cough. You're going to get in trouble.
No,
Maybe
just be nice.
Be nice and like talk loud, like.
Yeah, you sing. You know what I mean, without a mask. Watch people.
I had someone that did that to me. Visiting in my house, they were smoking outside. I walked outside. Ever see those people? I know we're going to wrap it up soon, but and she's I won't say who she is, but she's a distant relative, and she's smoking a cigarette on my porch, which I hate, because it stays in their mouth, and when they come in the house, and then your house still smells like smoke,
Right.
They think that they're. So she's smoking. I walk outside the porch to go to check the pool out, and she's right at the door. She takes a big puff, and then she starts talking to me in my face, asking me where's the nearest train station. As smoke coming out of her mouth into my face.
Droplets.
We got this. We got this COVID-19. She's from out of state. I'm like, what the? I'm like, what the heck are you doing? Yeah. God, I told my wife, I go, yeah.
If I were you, I would have crawled up in a ball right in front of her. Like, put your head down.
Yeah. Talk about rude, Yeah, do you ever see people do that, though, when they smoke and they're talking and smoke's coming out of their mouth,
Gross.
Yeah, and it's in your face. So, anyway.
Well, this has been, this really show. We went from Jim Mason to G. Michaels, somehow back to Maury Amsterdam. We went to, what's her name? Mary Tyler Moore was hot. She left us, but Ray liked her. Where else did we go with this today? No paper towels. Anyway, we'll keep it going. Thanks for joining us. There'll be more. I hope you like the show. And we'll keep trying to do our best to make it funny. So until next time, just remember,
Bullseye.
The best is yet to come.